Growing the Future podcast is brought to you by Eberhard Ag Solutions. Join us as we talk to top entrepreneurs in the agricultural space about their methods of obtaining success in their endeavors. And now, your host, Dan Eberhard.
Malthal. How do I say that? Walther. Walther.
This
you know what's really bad?
good.
I know, this is, and actually the last interview I did with Stuart Cullum.
Yeah.
I'm like, Stuart McMillan. He's like, no, different clan, different country, different origin.
Yeah.
It's like, still Eastern European and Caucasian, right? Like,
Well, I wouldn't consider Switzerland necessarily as Eastern European, but
right.
Europe.
We're gonna start with geography, I guess.
No.
Geography lesson. I think it's a fascinating part about you, though, that people want to know.
Yeah.
Just being slightly different than when, like, being born in Saskatchewan, I guess, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I came over to Canada about 4.5 years ago, and I did most of my education back in Switzerland, and that's where I have like an ag background and stuff. But I just kind of felt I wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone and go somewhere else, and then it happened to be the University of Manitoba.
Wow.
So
yeah, Manitoba boy.
Yeah, so that's where I spent my last 3.5 years, and done on-farm research with great collaborators together, and I really kind of feel like I get a bit of a sense now of where Canadian agriculture is at, and
yeah,
I think it helped me, understanding agriculture a bit in a bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Are people in Switzerland smarter than people in Canada, do you think?
Most definitely not.
Why? Hopefully nobody in Switzerland's watching this.
Yeah, I know.
You're supposed to...
I don't know. No, I think
you have a hardcore education. We had an exchange student from Switzerland, and he was just like coasting. He's like, we have like 7 years of like, they have like an extra grade, and then it's like right into the post-secondary. It's like highly. I see it as very advanced civilization. I do.
Yeah.
Help me out here. I'm trying to. If I ever go to Switzerland, I want to say, "Oh, you're Dan Eberhard. You gave us the kudos there on the Growing the Future podcast."
Yeah, no, I know. No, it's definitely, I think from an education standpoint of view, I was quite lucky with my undergrad, where I came to the University of Manitoba, and a lot of things were not new to me. And, I think what I really liked, and that's actually what All's College does in some ways as well, like my undergraduate was applied bachelor's. So, everything kind of was really like trying to have the producer in mind and trying to understand how can we help him and how can we bring
Applied, what does that mean?
Applied means like, you're not just doing some sort of research that never gets back to the farm.
So I'm just like 2 years of oak egg at U of S. I didn't even make it the third year.
Yeah, okay.
Why do these use these fancy educational terms just because we're at Olds College?
Well, okay, fair enough. No, I think it's important. I really believe there's a big gap between academia and practice, and I think both sides could learn from each other a lot. So, there's so much knowledge that sits on a farmer's head and mind, and he could just share that out, and researchers could make shortcuts that they don't run into things that we just know they're not working in practice.
Yeah.
So that's one side of the story. But the other side of the story is there's a lot of good researchers out there too. And they're doing a not so fantastic job of sharing that knowledge back to the grower. And this is actually something why I did my master's in on-farm research, because I really feel like there's a massive gap between these two groups, if you want to call it.
And we're seeing a great melding of all those things here today at AgSmart, Olds College, where you got the farm, you got the research, you got the students. I think they were teaching kids how to do how to brew too.
Yeah.
So you can drink afterwards. Woo! Mecca!
See, here's one advantage of being in Switzerland. You're allowed to drink on campus as well.
Let's go. When are we going to
you can join me
Agvisor Pro Eberhard Ag Switzerland trip? Business development, the economic development.
Well, when have you planned on buying your business jet again? I forgot.
That's an interesting comment, because I guess we've gotten to the point in life where we actually know people that have jets.
Yeah.
And
tell me about
it's a thing.
It's a thing.
And I've been in them.
Yeah.
Do I see a jet ever being part of the future? Absolutely. Would I? Will I invite you when I get one? Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's hard to fathom, but I can actually see the business advantage at time. I don't know if I buy one. I think I'd probably just lease one. You know, it's not about having
Yeah,
the jet.
that's what a lot of people
I don't think it's about having
yeah.
the jet.
Yeah.
I think it's about being in the jet and showing that you're on the jet to social media and other
Yeah.
people wanting to be in the jet, but they're not.
See, you made a big mistake. You said you were in one of these business jets and didn't take a selfie of it.
You know, yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know anyways.
Yeah,
I want to be like Grant Cardona and we just like on the wing of the plane, like just like right 10x all over it.
Yeah.
But I could see for business, I actually know a lot of people that have planes that's super functional, like, and you can get whatever, you can have a $70,000 plane, you can have a $150,000 plane, but I mean, there's so many times too when it's just, but it's a weird combination and then you end up stuck in the city, you need IFR to get out and blah, 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 it's different nuances or whatever, but there's definitely a level there. I don't know, does Rob have a jet? That's not right.
He hasn't told me yet, so.
I feel like there's like probably like a secret, you know, one of those things that rises out of the ground, like old military
Switzerland
bunker
is very known for
out at the acreage.
Here, random fact. So I served military service in Switzerland. I was a
wow.
tank driver, but that's not the random fact. The random
You're a
fact
tank
is
driver.
that Switzerland misses about 50 tanks, and we don't know where they are.
Well, funny story. Okay, we got to get back to that, but funny story. We were out at Rob's the night before. Obviously, just
Yeah.
saw you in passing. I was going home being a good boy. You were just getting there ready to rock and roll. I don't know how you did the next day, but we get to the show, and Rob's partner's like, "Oh, have you guys seen Rob's truck?" We're like, "Rob's truck," and I'm like, "Wheels and the engine and the whole thing," because I lost my truck keys or left them at the desk the night before, and I was thinking, "Well, I lost my keys, but how do you lose a truck?" And so asking us, and I was like, "What about Nick? What about the girls?" And then he gets up there and he starts his speech. Did you wake up this morning and think about pestilence or famine or war? You know, and
Yeah.
Terry's like, oh, I think he was thinking about where his truck was.
You can't say that out loud.
Right? That's awesome. So
Yeah.
that's how abundant a universe that we live in, that we've got to worry about losing vehicles, but
Yeah.
not necessarily the jet. But so why does Switzerland lose so many tanks then on an annual basis?
Well, we're not losing them on an
Okay,
annual
well.
basis, but
And
Yeah.
this year's tank loss is holding steady.
No, the problem is, like, you know, during Second World War, they built everywhere forts. Like
Right.
you go everywhere into the mountains, and you see pretty easily where there used to be forts, and you can drive in with a semi and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they just literally lost it. Like
Yeah.
it's just a matter of we don't know in which fort they are.
Oh, I see. They don't have GPS.
Not at that point yet.
Are you going to build a Warvisor Pro? If you're in the middle of a heated battle and you don't quite know which way to go, we
it's
can
like,
connect you from military experts all
Yeah, you
around the
could-
world.
They could
Get out of that
they
bunker.
They might be able to talk to me in Canada. Yeah.
I think you should talk to Rob about this. He'd be all over that.
Potentially. Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. Shrinking time and space to do more better.
Yeah.
How is the shrinking time and space coming along?
It's been good for us, definitely. I mean, we just really launched this and, you know, kind of put our toes out there and then see what farmers are liking. And so far, the response has been great. And it's just personally, too, for me, on how many great, you know, connections I was able to make. Like,
Yeah.
Have I met
We just
you?
met.
Yeah, have I met you? A couple-
Greatest connection of all.
So, you
Absolutely.
know, I think it is such a great opportunity that, you know, from that big guy who somewhere heard once and you know he's the specialist, now you as an individual producer have the opportunity to talk to him in private. And it's just a clean transaction. And I think that just on how that can elevate your decision process as a farmer is quite exciting. Or you
Elevating
can talk to you about
decision making.
biosol.
They've been calling a lot to talk about biosol and how they can get it on all their farm. Sulfur sales are through the roof.
Yeah.
No, but I do feel honored to be on there and to contribute. And if you know, people do have a lot of questions about our product.
Yeah, and you know, we who work in agriculture, I think we understand how diverse agriculture is and how not straightforward in so many cases. And I think the most important thing that we should be doing is just bouncing off our ideas on other people's and just see how they steer us towards the best solutions. And I think we can be a small solution in that process.
So you're a young guy, you're just, relatively fresh in the industry and now a CEO.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well,
What's it like to be a CEO? Well, I guess technically I'm a CEO, but
still feels
what's it like for you?
It still feels the same when I go to the washroom in the morning. It's
still
like hasn't changed that
one
much.
leg at a time.
Yeah, no, it's now the title is just there. But some different followers on LinkedIn now all of a sudden.
Right.
The percentage changed a little bit. It's actually
LinkedIn's
true.
a big deal.
Yeah. No, it's been good. I mean, and I'm pretty excited too on the way we approach this CEO position, and that we have now a co-CEO, which is quite new, or it's not such a old concept either. And I think I'm very excited to have Dan Bruin on board.
Yeah.
And share that position.
So why the co-CEO?
Yeah, I think Dan has been in the industry for a very long time, and he can bring on a lot of that industry side of things where we get the right connections type of thing, and just also from a obviously investment standpoint of view, and how do we grow this business.
You need some money?
Yeah,
because Terry's got money.
Yeah, no, obviously, and then.
Usually when I need an investment, kind of get me through the weekend or whatever, or maybe it's
Terry.
I phone Terry, your dad.
It should be the other way around. You're the older
Well,
brother.
I know. I'm working on it.
Getting slowly there.
We have annual revenues, approaching or maybe surpassing Aberhart Farms, but profitability
is another story.
Yeah.
Return on
equity.
investment, let's not talk
Equity.
About. Yeah.
Takes time, but no, that's cool. So how did you get hooked up with Rob Sake again? Tell me that story,
So about 2.5 years ago, I traveled with a farmer friend of mine to the show Agri-Trade in Red Deer.
Nice.
And he's
kind of a parent show of this.
Yeah.
This show.
Exactly. Yeah. And so he's a scale guy, and he's always got this booth there, and so I just helped him out. And I walked around the show, and I happened to see Rob, and I recognized him, and I was made a little circle and said, okay, how am I going to pitch an idea to him?
Love it.
And so I pitched a business idea to him, and he's like, I like you, young man, let's go.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
Do you remember the business idea? He just said, I like that guy.
Most likely.
That's unfinished business, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely it doesn't.
Yeah, I asked him.
Yeah.
I asked him the other night. I'm like, what did Patrick bring you? Because it might be something we want to steal. What did Patrick bring you? It had something to do with trials. He's like, oh, yeah, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
I just knew I liked them.
I know.
Wanted to work with them. But you guys were talking about when you were in the truck the other day when we were coming back from Ag in Motion. I just can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, you don't have to give it away. Maybe there'll be another company to develop.
Yeah, it's still a top secret. Yeah. No, I mean, we've discussed about this earlier.
Yeah.
Where I really think there's a big gap between academia and on-farm research, and just streamlining that process more, I think should be really would be uplifting for the industry. I mean, we have prescription maps. Why are we not making prescription maps of trials?
Of what?
Of trials.
Oh, sorry. The way your Swiss accent. What is that?
Right. So that's just kind of where I see opportunities.
So that was the idea. Prescription maps of trials.
Somewhat.
Did you get that, Terry?
Yeah.
Prescription
the
mapping of
is you
trials.
guys going to make it happen now.
That's not a problem.
I know.
That's an opportunity. What do you think of it as a challenge? It's only an opportunity.
No.
You can do it all together. If you guys want to do a podcast, we'll work together.
For sure.
You guys want to?
Yeah, we'd have one or two good people that might be interested to be interviewed for sure.
You'd be a great person to be the brand face of the podcast, and I believe
I'm not sure people don't understand my Swiss accent too well, so.
I think the girls like it.
You don't know that.
Well, we'll have the feedback in the comments on the YouTube.
Yeah, comments at the bottom.
So what do you bring to the table to Agvisor Pro and to the world in general? What's your unique ability? What do you love doing that you're just amazing at that nobody else can do like you? Be real. You can.
I mean, how many billion people are in the world? I would be.
But you're a special snowflake.
No, I mean, I think it definitely helps being like open-minded and have a bit of the big picture type of thing. And given my background, I think often I'm able to just step one or two steps more back than some others do who are just been in the industry and kind of tied down to what has been working / not working the last 20 years. And I think that definitely helps me coming a bit on a different angle to problems.
Awesome, I love it.
So.
And so what would be your elevator pitch to people who have seen and heard Agvisor Pro but aren't on it yet and they're just kind of on the fence? What would you say to them?
They're on the fence. No, I mean, honestly, Agvisor Pro, what we do is we connect farmer with farming expertise at their fingertips. Mm-hmm. So kind of think of Uber or Skip the Dishes. So you go on Skip the Dishes, you want to order Indian tonight, and it tells you 10, 15 different restaurants.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the ratings and reviews and you say, okay, I like this. I'm ordering this curry, right? And so the same thing on Agvisor Pro. You go onto Agvisor Pro, you type in your problem. It could be biosol, it could be I have an agronomy question, or my combine just broke down, what am I going to do type of thing. And it's really based by keywords. And then you look at the different advisors that can help you with that. You can look at their experience, their abstracts, all that kind of shebang, and you can look at the ratings and reviews, and then you say, okay, Terry Aberhard looks like an interesting guy, I want to talk to him. Mm-hmm. Click the button and off you go, you have a face-to-face conversation. Mm-hmm. Like, it's as easy as that. And so you could be standing in the field struggling with a problem and have Tom Wolfe or Neil Lane Fraser or whoever you want to talk to at your fingertips, and you have a face-to-face conversation. And I think that just really, you've met me now in person, like, could we ever establish a relationship like that over email?
Right.
I couldn't have.
No.
You might be a good writer.
I'm not a good writer or reader when it comes to emails. Generally, like, oh shit, what did I just send? And oh, why are they sending me this? What do they mean? And I totally misinterpret. It's actually not that great of a communication platform.
No, it's terrible, right? Like, what is it? 70% of a conversation is nonverbal.
Yes.
So at least if you have a face-to-face conversation, that I don't know what the number would be, but it's like way closer to where you can kind of sense, where is the other guy at?
Yeah. Shebang. Is that a Swiss term or?
Good. I don't even know. This is my.
I don't know that I've ever heard it, but I would like to be like shebang. Like I feel like
let's
shebang.
Make a hashtag out of it.
Shebang could be a lot of things, and that's kind of the sexy mysterious aspect of shebang. It's like shebang. Yeah. We used to have a lot of terms in Langeberg that were just like flange. You just take a word, and I don't know how it got ubiquitous throughout the lexicon of the kids. But I remember like for a while it was like flanging it up. What are you doing tonight? We're flanging. We're like, generally it probably was
and
up
everybody
to no
would just know how you do it. Yeah. There's one
so you can say shebang. What are you doing? Shebang. What's up tonight?
Shebang.
Hey man, what's up? Shebang.
Yeah. Yeah, no. One of my favorite Swiss words would be, the direct translation would be lioning. So think of a lion. It's like so hot.
Lioning. Huh.
It's so hot. It's like,
cool.
I don't know. I'm gonna sit in the shade by the tree.
That's cool.
But I have the situation under control. Just lioning.
That's why you put the book down there to prevent the
and it's
reflection.
coming back. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Oh, so but you speak a lot of languages too, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Girls like that too.
Yeah, no. My native tongue is German, but then really Swiss German is, I would say, a complete different language than High German, and so at school we learned High German, so I guess that's two there, and then I tried to speak English, but people make fun of me. So. And then I served my military service in French as well. So.
Wow.
But coming from Switzerland, most people are bilingual. would say.
What are you applying to agriculture that from your war training? The last question. We gotta wrap it up. But what do you apply to?
Usually just people love the fact that I drove a tank.
I do. I think it's super cool. I'm pretty jealous.
But
I've never driven a tank.
I would like
peacetime and otherwise. That's good though, right? Probably brought a lot of character.
Yeah, it definitely helps you.
Help me out here. It's the same thing as the Switzerland. I'm trying to tee you up.
Well, no, I think actually one of the most interesting thing that you learn in the army is you get such a good dissect through the society.
Yeah.
Because you serve with everyone. He could be a PhD guy to someone who's like cleaning the streets type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's very rewarding or like very interesting to once get that entire cut.
Yeah.
Because often otherwise, I mean, I have quite a lot of schooling done in my past, maybe too much, but you're always with the same peers around you. And I think that again helps you more a bit of like opening up and see, hey, it's maybe not exactly the way you're thinking.
No, that's important, I think, in getting perspective and everything. And maybe if we grow up on the farm and then we go to, agricultural based college and then we, go back into farming.
Yeah.
Don't have the same perspective of being in the trenches with people from all walks of life. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I say that? Did I summarize that well?
Or you get to go into the beauty industry because of your hairs or something.
Trust me, there's a whole other story there. May or may never be told on this show. But anyways.
Oh, I just like opened the Pandora box.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, you and I don't know. I just felt like we had a really great rapport in the beginning. It's been awesome to get to know you. And
Yeah.
I guess I feel this affinity for you because you're doing something that takes a lot of courage, and you're going to experience a lot of pain. It's essentially going to be hell to pay for a long time. Nobody that hasn't started a business from scratch.
I'm looking forward to it.
Everybody's got their own pains, but holy shit.
Yeah.
4 years into it, you're like, whew. And I'm just for us, we're just starting to get up on the board.
Yeah.
Who knows how long it'll take your company, it just does. But no, I really liked you since I first met you.
Yeah, well,
Proud of
thanks
you.
very much
Proud of you.
for giving the opportunity.
Oh man, I think we're going to continue to work together.
For sure.
In cool ways and keep rocking the agricultural industry.
Thanks very much,
Patrick.
We'll talk to you another day.
Absolutely.